The one thing about being a leader that I know now that I wish I knew then was that a leader is a mentor and a coach, not somebody who knows everything.
One thing I know now that I wished I had known starting up is how big the challenge would be, how fast the pace would be, but how also rewarding it would be and the fun that we're having.
One thing I've learned over the last few years is the most precious things in business are your employees, your partners, and time. Time is always precious. The employee's ability to deliver is the success of the company, and your business partners are your best friends who you share your successes, failures, and frustrations with.
How challenging it is to make sure that you have the right players in the right positions at the right time.
As I've grown in life in a leadership position, one of the things that I really learned from is everything's endless possibilities. You just have to think big and find the right people.
When starting up, I wish I would have known to focus as much on my people as I did the work at hand. You know, the work is hard enough, but you got to take care of your people.
The best piece of advice I've ever received is to find your passion, because success will come easier if you love what you do.
The best piece of leadership advice that I've received is to focus on the items daily that I know can move the needle and benefit the company most in terms of growth.
The best piece of leadership advice that I've ever gotten is from Dev, actually. And he said, yes, leadership is about inspiration and inspiring sometimes your staff. But sometimes the best form of inspiration is just by listening.
The best piece of leadership advice I've ever received came from a mentor who told me to respect everybody from the intern to the executives. Everybody's knowledgeable and everybody has input, which leads to the success of the company.
Always talk to your people every single day. That if you want to know how your company is doing, walk around, talk to people, ask them, never miss an opportunity to get to know every single person in your company on every single level.
The best piece of leadership advice that I've received is that really my job as a CEO is to make everybody else in the company successful versus them making me successful.
As the little guy, I've always been the underdog, and it's much more motivating to do so. Never underestimate the desire and the will of an entrepreneur who really wants to be successful.
It's fun winning as an underdog, and it's fun dominating as a favorite. For me, I probably would say it's great coming from behind and taking victory.
Going into the big game, it's more motivating to be the underdog. It's all about the challenge of making the presumed impossible possible.
I'd say it's more motivating going into the big game, being the favorite with the underdog mentality. We've been to the big game before, and being invited back, you know the expectation, and being on top, I think it's harder to stay on top.